Okay, part 20. This part we will get into rigging the face, a little more detailed than my previous face rigging tutorial. Show you a few more tricks that I like to use. Okay, all that said, let's pop into the edit mode of this rig, and let's go over to this layer right here, this armature layer right here, and just kind of start from scratch on the face. Go into the wireframe view so I can center up my 3D cursor, and see, we've already got the head, so I guess I don't really need to center it too much. I guess I'll need a few things to be centered, like for example the top of the lip and the bottom of the lip and this little part of the eyebrows. So anyways, we're still in edit mode. Add a new bone, and we're gonna scale this way down. Scale it on the scale it Alt S first, and then scale it way down. Okay, let's move this guy way out here. Scale it down. This is gonna be the, go ahead and name it, I guess, as we're going. This will be lip, top, mid, dot. No, we don't need any dot because it's in the middle. So we'll Shift D, select that. It's going to be the lip bottom, mid. Okay. And let's just duplicate this a little bit. Right there. Go into front view and let's drag it out. This will be so you can do like a snarl or something like that, or maybe the famous Elvis lip. Elvis Presley. Okay, this will be lip top dot L, I guess, and this will be lip bot dot L. And just go ahead and drag that one. Drag it over to the corner of the mouth, side view. Drag it back till it lines up. Good, and this will be lip corner dot L. Okay. 3D cursor still centered up. Okay, good. Go ahead and pop up here. Actually, I need to make sure because I just kind of clicked in there. There we go. Okay. Add a new bone. Scale it down. Alt S, scale it down. Scale it down some more. Drag that down directly on the Z axis there. Scale it down some more. Oops. There we go. And this will be brow, middle, brow mid. Okay. And I guess we'll need to do this for the tongue as well. So put the 3D cursor there. Should still be centered up. Yes. Okay. Add a new bone. Do the same thing we were doing with the spine and arms earlier. Just drag it, the end of it, to the tip of the tongue. Let's go ahead and scale it way down. And let's subdivide multis. 2 cuts will be fine. Let's drag that one up there. Drag that one there. And I'm going to extrude out a tip. That'll be our IK controller. Do I want an IK controller for the tongue? You know what? I don't think I do. Control Z. Undo that. Okay. So let's go ahead and name this tongue start. And this will be tongue mid. And of course, tongue tip. Alright. Okay, now let's do, oops, I need to move this brow thing to where it's, where the mesh is. There we go. Alright. Now, let's go ahead and do the rest of the brow. The cursor here, add a bone, Alt S, scale it down, grab the tip of it, move it where it needs to go. Side view, let's go ahead and move this whole bone back. And then the end of it to kind of go around the head. And I want to subdivide this just the once. And move it. There we go. And up. Okay. Call this brow start.l. Actually, call this brow inner.l. Okay. And brow outer. Alright. And a good way to create the eyelid to be able to blink nicely is to just center it around the eyeball. So I'm going to go out of edit mode so I can grab my sphere that is the eyeball. Shift S, and I want to put the cursor around that selection. Back into solid view, grab my bones, go into edit view, add a new bone, and it's going to put it right there, perfectly centered on the eyeball. And unfortunately it's the right eyeball. We're working on the left side right now. So easy solution, just do the same thing, Shift S, cursor selection, and go back to the bones, edit mode, and grab that guy, Shift S, selection to cursor. And now the base of it is where it needs to be, but the tip was way off. So let's do the same thing, Shift S, selection to cursor, and now it like made that really flat and kind of disappeared, so now just drag it out. There we go. And let's scale that way down, about like so. And let's drag it up to the edge of the eyelid, right there. And let's drag it over till it's about centered. There we go. And Control R kind of line it up a little better. Let me Control R. Oh yeah, I gotta have the actual bone selected, not the tip of it, I guess. There we go. Okay. And go ahead and Shift D, not S, and I want to grab its tip and move it down to the bottom of the eyelid. Alright, now let's go ahead and name this. See, lid top.L and lid bottom.L. Alright, and while we're there, let's go ahead and create a bone for the eyeball itself. So I'm going to center that cursor back up on it. Selection to cursor. Oops, wrong one. Cursor to selection is what I need. And, okay, make sure it was on the right eyeball again. Add bone. Break it down. And let's do that. It's a good way to get things straightened up perfectly. Selection to cursor, and then just drag it out. So that's perfectly straight now. And it's going to be the eyeball itself. Okay, great. Now I like to add a few more controls. Actually, we need to add the jawline now, or not the jawline, but the jawbone. Center that cursor back up. Let's put it about right here. Add a bone. Drag the tip down, even with the chin. Kind of move that around a little bit. Scale it. Name it jaw. All right. And I like to add a bone for the cheeks. Add a, oops, go to edit mode. Add a new bone. Down. There we go. In case he wants to, you know, pooch his cheeks out, blow his cheeks out like he's got a mouthful of food or something like that. Okay. And let's call that cheek. L. And what else do we need? Let's add one up by the nostril so he can have that snarl kind of look I was talking about earlier. Got a bone there. Let's get all the way down. Alt S and then regular S. Okay, let's name that. Well, let's name it snarl. L. Okay. Okay, so we got the basic setup for the bones on the face. But there's one thing I like to do on top of this. Let's go ahead and pop into here so I can see that head bone. You know, for now, I'm going to take that head bone, I'm going to move it to the layer where all the other face bones are, just so I can connect things to it, such as, well, everything that's not moving with the jaw. You know, Just grab it and do this. Okay. And shift select the head and control P. And we want to keep the offset. So now, every time the head moves, it's going to move all that stuff that's above the jaw. And speaking of the jaw, I need to parent it to the head also. Control P, keep the offset. So go ahead and select all the other stuff. Actually, I don't need the whole tongue, just the base of it. And parent it to the jaw. So let's go ahead and clear out that rotation. Looked like it was moved a little bit. Okay, so now move the jaw. All that moves with it. The bottom of the lip, the tongue, and everything. Move the head. Everything moves because the mouth bone's connected to the jawbone. Jawbone's connected to the head bone, etc. Okay, now one trick I like to do. Like I said, you move this. All that stuff moves with it. But you know, it's a solid move. I don't want it to be a solid move. I want some of the stuff, like right in here in the cheek, to kind of gradually follow the jaw. I don't want it to be perfectly moving with what the jaw does. So, one thing I've began doing when I do a face rig is I create duplicates of all the bones that are going to be gradually moving, such as, well, this, and go ahead and do that too. Okay. So am I in edit mode? No. Okay. Now I am. So I shift D, create copies of all those, and I go ahead and scale them up a little bit so I can see a difference. And I go ahead and put those on a different layer. Go ahead and put them on that one right there. And open that. Let's go into wireframe view so you can see the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to kind of do, you know what, let's turn on wires. No? Wires. There we go. That's better. Okay, so all these duplicates that I made, I guess go ahead and rename it. So it's going to be cheek location .l. All the bigger bones, we're going to have that location. Actually, capital L, capital O, capital C, just so it stands out. This guy, corner loc.l. Up top loc.l. And this guy loc. Naming is important, even though it's very tedious. The bot loc.l. And is that it? I believe so. No, we got the snarl loc.l. Okay, I think that's all of them now. Yep. Okay. Now, going to select all of those. And, oops. Okay. And I'm going to parent these to the head. Control P, keep the offset. And everything else should be parented to that. Actually, I'm going to parent all of the smaller ones, even this guy up here, to the jaw. Edit mode, Control P, keep the offset. Okay, so now we got all those bones following the jaw, and then the other ones following the head. And I did that so I can do this. These ones that are attached to a jaw are going to copy the location and rotation of the ones to the head, but not fully. They're only going to do it. That one up there right in the middle, let's do that 1.5 0.4 and 0.4. So now I move that, it just gradually follows the jaw, you can see. And let's do the same thing. This guy right here, big one, small one, I'll Control C. Wait, I think is that right? This one. Sometimes I get confused. Okay. We don't want the location to be the one mapped, so clear out those. Big one, then small one. Alt Control C, copy location, copy rotation, because the small one's copying the location of the LOC of the location bone. So there we go. 0.4, 0.4, and this one doesn't need to be that much because it's a lot further away. Go ahead. So we got the location already, and copy the rotation as well. Okay, so that one can be a lot less. Let's make it 0.1. 0.1. Okay, how's this looking? Oh, that's too much. I'm confusing myself here. Oi. Let me undo. Sorry for this, wasting your time. I guess little one then big one. Alt Control C, copy rotation, copy location. And it's doing it 100%, so we don't want that. 0.4, 4. There we go. Little one then big one, right? Yes. And rotation. There we go. 0.1, 0.1. Okay. There we go. So that's barely following us. So it'll kind of have more of a softer, rubbery feel. When you'll see when we start working on that. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just find it helps things look a little more natural. Okay, so the tongue needs to follow the jaw for the most part, but the inside of the mouth will kind of follow the head a little bit. But I want it to follow the jaw mostly, so I'm going to go 0.9 on this. 0.9. So you can see it's mostly following it. Okay, almost there. Rotation, the bottom of the lip will need to follow. Also about 0.9. This one will be a little bit less. Oops, looks like I did the wrong ones. Undo those. Okay, little, then big. Okay. And those will be 0.8. Okay, 0.8. Then the corner of the mouth, little, then big. That'll be 0.7. 0.7. And these guys will be even less. Little, then big. Rotation. So this will be point. Let's do this one point. I will do a 0.4 also, like that we did on the cheek. Okay, and this one, the very least. We'll take rotation. This one, let's do 0.2. Okay. So now, something's going on with this guy. Is everything big one, little one? That one should be working. Oh, I got 0 for some reason there, so that needs to be 0.9. There we go. And this one's a little too much. 0.2. That should be right. Oh, I selected it backwards. There we go. Get rid of those guys. Little, then big. Alt Control C, copy location, copy rotation. 0.2 and 0.2. There we go. Now then, see the lips will be stretching open more than just opening, basically. Let's make this one a little bit less so it's a little more stretchy. 0.6. There we go. So now if we hide, go into this one and hide that. What you must think of me. I guess I'll go ahead and make the green ones the actual bones. I wanted to do the opposite, but we're already at 20 minutes, so let's take all of these guys that are not the green ones, the little ones. Come on, select the right one. There. There we go. And let's move those to this layer. And we'll select all the big ones. And move those back to that layer. So now we turn off that second layer. And we got the green guys. There we go. You can kind of see where the lips are going to be. They're going to stretch out as you move the jaw. See? Pretty neat, huh? Nice little trick. Like I said, you don't have to do that. I like to do it, though. It kind of makes things a little smoother. Okay. So before I leave you, go ahead and select all the bones now. To grab all these bones here on the side, and we're going to put the 3D cursor right in the middle. Do the same thing we did on the body. Rotate around 3D cursor, Shift S. No, Shift D to duplicate. Click out, SX -1. And armature, flip left and right names. So, there we go. Good. I didn't name the eyeballs. Let's do that. I.L and I.R for left and right. Okay, so now you can kind of see. I'm going to turn that layer off. See the. Turn that back to medium point. There we go. There we go. Now the lips will be a little more stretchy as the jaw moves. Cool. Alright. One last thing before I go. I think I said that already, but let's create some look at targets for these eyeballs. Let's grab the two eyes, Shift D to duplicate, and let's pull them out along the y-axis. And I don't want them to be parented to anything, so just turn off the parenting. And these are going to be look at .L and look at .R. And let's create a new bone in the middle of everything. And we'll just name this one look at, because this is going to control both of the look at bones. We'll just grab both of them. Actually, just grab the one, shift that one, Control P, and it went ahead and, since I still have x-axis mirror, it went ahead and parented that one to it as well. So now, move that around. Both of those follow. Now we hook the eyeballs to it. Actually, grab that one first, then the eye. Shift I to active bone. Chain length 1. And grab that. Shift I to active bone. Chain length 1. Okay, so now you move that around, the eyeballs will follow. Go ahead and connect the eyeballs to it real quick. What do you say? Eyeball selected, yes. And that, Control P to bone, parent to bone. Same thing over here. Control P, parent to bone. So now, eyeballs follow. Neato. Alright, save that guy. Go pop into a better view. Save it. Let's go and turn on the whole skeleton. So now, everything, the whole face follows. Good. Alright, save this guy. And that's all for part 20. See you in 21.